we did what is phrase. Now together we are going to start with clause. Clause and phrase, it sometimes get confused, but if we do it in a simplified manner, it becomes easier for us to understand. Now let us see what is a clause. Clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. Previously in phrase, I have told you that in phrase there is no subject, there is no verb. But in a clause, you will have a subject and a verb. It is mandatory. It will be there. Now, the verb can be a finite verb or it can be an infinite verb. So, it doesn't matter, but it will have a verb. Whereas in our phrase, we did not have it. Now, it gives a complete idea or it can give a part of the complete idea, or we can say it can give you a partial idea as well. Alright, let's take some examples and then it will become much more easier for us to understand. Like, I went home because it was raining. Number one sentence. I went home because it was raining. Now, if I divide this sentence, I went home, and put a full stop over here, it is giving me complete meaningful sentence that I went home. It is giving me complete meaning. So, when in a sentence you get complete meaning part, that part of the sentence is known as main clause or independent clause as well. But because it was raining, if I separate this from I went home, it will not give you complete meaning. If all of a sudden I say because it was raining and I stop, you will wonder what ma'am is about to say. Ma'am will say something more as well. Because it was raining, I went home. This will give you a complete meaning. Sorry. So, I went home. This is your main clause. And because it was raining, this is your subordinate or dependent clause. Why? Because this particular part of the sentence will only give complete meaning when it is added to I went home or any other meaningful sentence. Now, one trick you can see over here, whenever you are having a main clause, you will have a finite verb. You will have a finite verb. Alright, finite verb or main verb. So, next example, it will clarify you more. I believe that we will win. I believe he will win. Now, if I put a full stop after I believe, so I believe, it's giving you a meaning that I believe something, whatever it is. So, over here, I believe is your main clause or independent clause. But that he will win, it cannot give you complete meaning until and unless it is introduced with another part of the sentence, which is the main clause, which has a subject, which has a finite verb. Okay, so over here, that he will win, it is not going to give you complete meaning until and unless you introduce it with any other main clause that will have a subject and a finite verb. Next, again, number 3 example. I met a man who was very kind. Now, I met a man. If I put a full stop over here, it is going to give you complete meaning that I met a man. And it's meaningful sentence. But who was very kind, and it's a full stop. If it had a question mark, then it would have been an interrogative sentence. Who was very kind? Question mark. It would have been interrogative sentence, but it is having a full stop. That means it's a part of any kind of declarative or assertive sentence. So you cannot take it as an independent sentence. So who was very kind is your Subordinate clause. Why? Because it does not give you complete meaning if it is introduced all alone. So, in a phrase, do we have a subject? No. But in a clause, we have a subject. In a phrase, do we have a verb? No. But in a clause, we have verb. Now, the verb is finite verb for main clause. In a phrase, do we have a predicate? No. Clause? Yes, we have. In a phrase, do it give complete meaning? Partial meaning. Partial meaning it can give. In clause, it gives meaning, but complete meaning. Complete meaning in only main clause. Subordinate clause depends on main clause. So if we can keep this in mind, if we can keep this difference between phrase and clause in our mind, it becomes very easier for us to understand what is in a sentence and identify which is a phrase and which is a clause.